Bonjour à tous et à toutes.
Hello all and welcome to the sports segment on the Morning Call presented by Serge Kofi. Let me tell you about an evil that's eating away at football. Europe is perceived as an El Dorado by many third country nationals due to its high living standards, a strong fascination with the European football industry, where the remuneration of some players and the sporting level of clubs, which many can only dream of. At the same time, with the increase in players' acquisition prices, many European clubs are increasingly focusing on foreign markets where they can acquire talented players at costs lower than those required in Europe. In addition to legal transfers to European clubs, there is the trafficking of young players and immigration networks managed by agents in Europe who exploit these unsuspecting and vulnerable boys from Africa or Latin America. Basically, an unscrupulous intermediary spots a young player and promises them the possibility of joining a club in Europe and the hopes of success. Once in Europe, usually with a tourist visa, the young athlete, if not fooled, may have the opportunity to try out in various clubs. In the best case, the young person signs a short-term contract with the club, which is often precarious and unfavorable. No less than 6,000 minors try to visit Europe every year, legally or not, with a failure rate of around 70%. The phenomenon began in the 90s, but today we are witnessing calls to counter trafficking in football. Like Mission 89, a research, education and advocacy agency that aims to combat the trafficking of footballers under the age of 18. We asked them how the phenomenon has evolved in recent years.
Comment le phénomène a évolué ces dernières années?
And now we're seeing it more manifested at a local level where you have agents that are approaching young children by, on roadside academies and making promises to them essentially of getting them trials in European clubs. They take a substantial amount of money from the parents, extortion essentially, and often they disappear with the funds. And in some cases, they do take the player and abandon them either in a transit country, or in some cases they get to the destination only to be abandoned. And more and increasingly so, you're seeing these perpetrators online as well, reaching young and vulnerable children on social media platforms. So it's become very expansive, and there's often also criminal networks that are behind these fraudulent agents. Yeah.
The difficulty in combating this phenomenon lies in the fact that the victims are willing. Football has become the new oil for a whole continent, and young players are the collateral victims of the ultra-liberalism that governs the market. It is urgent to find a sustainable solution.
Well, I think a lot of awareness raising is required, as well as education, because we, at Mission 89, our goal is to empower the kids that have this dream of pursuing a career in Europe, but also as well their families, so that they know the signs to look out for. At a fundamental level, I think that the infrastructure, the sporting infrastructure in Africa will have to improve. The sporting competition will have to strengthen. And being a sports player, an athlete, a footballer on the continent needs to be a viable way of sustaining a living. Ours is really to raise awareness of this phenomenon, and with the right information of what a regular migration process entails, and also what proper recruitment practices look like.
The subject is still relevant today, and sports institutions, in particular the Confederation of African Football, must take up this issue with vigor in order to make the protection and integrity of young footballers a major theme of their action.